everyone, I'm Zhané. I'm a final year Sport and Exercise Sciences student, and this year I'm also going to be the president of the Sport and Exercise Sciences Society. I'm here to talk to you guys about what your first 2 years of uni doing sports science are going to be like. So first off, we'll talk about first year, obviously. Probably the most exciting time of your life. I know that this pandemic that we're going through at the minute, making everything a little bit less exciting than it might have been, but I still think that this is a really good time for you guys to be coming to Leeds, even with everything that's going on. So first year for sport and exercise science and sports science and physiology are exactly the same, and what it really is about is just getting everyone on a level playing field. So at A level I did chemistry, maths and biology, and I know that a lot of you will have done wildly different subjects to that, and there's a good chance that most of your classmates will have done different subjects to you. So some of you will really enjoy doing maths modules and physiology modules because you did similar subjects to me, whereas some of you might have done psychology and enjoy the psychology modules more, or have done PE and enjoyed motor control more. So it's just about making sure that everyone's on the same page. Everyone says that first year doesn't count. First year absolutely does count, like a lot, because you take a lot of the knowledge that you get given in first year, especially if you didn't do stuff like maths at A level, onto second year to do biomechanics, and that might be something that you really enjoy, even if you didn't like maths and physics at school. So it's important to pay attention, important to keep studying, but really first year is also important for getting settled into Leeds and making a lot of new friends. I know that Freshers Week is going to be different this year, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. When I was in first year, I started a part-time job immediately as soon as I got to Leeds, so I didn't have the traditional Freshers Week. I didn't go out very much during Freshers Week, and that hasn't made my uni life any worse in any way. Like, it's a myth that you are going to make every friend that you'll ever have at university in that first week, and that Freshers Week is the most important thing. Like, you're going to meet hundreds of people, and even the people who you meet in Freshers Week, if you think they're your best friends immediately, you may not be friends with them anymore by the time you get to third year. So the fact that you don't have a traditional Freshers Week isn't going to ruin your uni life at all. It's still a great opportunity for you to explore societies, explore different sports as well. Try and get yourself into a sport if that's something that you enjoy, get yourself into a society that you might be interested in, and just have fun with it. Leeds is a great city to be in. Though you may not be able to go to clubs, you still have the opportunity to go to pubs and bars and explore the city without, getting drunk and going out every night. You'll probably enjoy it more because you'll remember it the next day. Another thing about first year is that the content for sport and exercise science and sports science and physiology are the same. So it's a really good time for you to try and figure out what you really enjoy doing in sports science. And if you're a sport and exercise sciences student who really enjoys physiology, you can transfer onto the physiology course at the end of the year, because you've done the same content as the physiology students. And same with the physiology students, if you really like biomechanics, say, and you want to focus more on other areas of sports science rather than physiology, you can switch back onto the sport and exercise sciences course. Also, if you're not enrolled on the 4-year courses, you can still change over. So when I started, I was on sport and exercise sciences 3 years, and I've just gotten back off placement, so I'm in my 4th year now, so it's absolutely fine if you want to change. And in second year, that is something that you would probably spend some time looking at. Like, a lot of my second year, I got the first placement that I applied to, so I was basically set as soon as I got offered my placement. But a lot of your second year, if you're looking at different placements, because a lot of sports science placements come out later than other biological sciences placements, probably spend a lot of time researching and figuring out if a 4-year degree is something that you want to do, and I definitely recommend it. Obviously in this time it's uncertain how year abroads might work, but you've got a couple of years. Like, things are probably going to be more normal by the time you're looking at going on your years abroad and stuff. I went to Dublin for my placement year as well, so you could probably, there's a chance that you could get a placement year and a year abroad in one, which would be great for you. It was great for me. The other thing about second year is that it's a great chance to get more involved in your societies. So once you've been there for a year, you can apply to be on committee for your societies. So I was the social sec for sports science in my second year, and now because I've had a committee position before, I can be president, and I am president. So that's something that you might want to look into if you like really into your sports that you take part in. Then being on committee is a good thing to buff up your CV. And then again, most committees, if you've been on committee before, you can go on to be pres or vice pres, or captain, or whatever the terminology they use in certain societies. So that's something to think about, like when you're getting involved in your societies, is that something you want to do, like to get up to the top? And I think that that's a good alternative to doing like you have to do work experience as part of your degree, but doing certain things that can get you that CV, things on your CV if you don't want to go away for a year, if you want to do this in 3 years. Another thing I'm going to mention, just like I said before, I had a job literally as soon as I got to Leeds. I think I was in Leeds on the Saturday and I had my first shift at work on the Monday. So if a part-time job is something that you want or something that you need, it's something that you absolutely can do, and if you can survive without a part-time job, then getting experience, maybe coaching, doing like sports courses, coaching courses is something that's really good to do. And because you're a sports science student, there's coach education courses at the Edge that you can get 50% off from, up to £100 I think it is, for being a sports science student. So if you want to do a course in strength and conditioning and to get a level 2 qualification in that, or sports massage, first aid, things like that, you can get 50% off because you're in the School of Sports Science, which is a bonus. These are things that I did. I've coached rowing in my second year. I worked with Row Leeds, which is a really good organisation, goes into secondary schools around Leeds, and we coach indoor rowing. If that's something that you're into, you can work in the Hyde Park football clubs, I think, are always looking for coaches. So there's plenty of opportunities to get involved in the community as well as university sports. If you don't always want to spend your time with university students, we get tiring sometimes. University students are a lot to deal with, especially when we have a lot of assignments coming up. So getting out, spending time with different communities around Leeds is something that's really beneficial, both to you personally, to your CV, and just like a good way to spend your time. Speaking of Leeds, personally I think that Leeds is the best city in the world. You've chosen a great city to come and study in. Faculty of Biological Sciences is incredible. I think that sports science at Leeds is one of the best sports science courses that you can do in this country, and there's a big focus on getting you guys work experience, getting you guys doing things that will benefit you outside of your degree. There's a really good focus on science, so like I was saying with my A levels, I'm a really sciencey person. I'm not good at sport at all. I'm a rowing coach, and that's because I'm not very good at rowing myself. You can't see my height, but I'm only 5 feet tall, so I'm not built to be a rower, but I love the sport aspect, and I love that Leeds is very focused on a really strong scientific basis of your course. Then besides that, Leeds as a city is amazing. It's a big sporting city, as I'm sure that you all know, like for football, rugby, anything in between. There's loads going on and there's loads to see. Everything's happening in the city all the time. Obviously things are a bit frozen in time now because of the pandemic, but if you enjoy music, Leeds is the best city for music, absolutely. Full stop. I love going to gigs in Leeds. I love going to the pub. I love going out. I miss going out a lot. But one day it'll all be back to normal and you'll be able to experience Leeds for the way that it is. But still, there's still plenty to do even in these times. Even if you're a more chill person, there's probably about 500 coffee shops in the city centre that want you to go and visit them, obviously with less offices around, I'd recommend Lane's. It's a really nice coffee shop by the train station, which I think is struggling right now because of the pandemic. But if you like a more chill afternoon, then Roundhay Park, coffee shops, the art gallery and museum. Leeds is the best city in the world. I've missed it for the past year, and I'm very excited to go back, and I'm very excited to meet you all whenever we can. So finally, just make sure that if you haven't already, to join the Sport Science Facebook page. I'm sure that it'll be linked in the newsletter somewhere, and then you can add me on Facebook. I'm Zhané, Zhane. I'll probably turn up somewhere if you search University of Leeds, because I don't think there's many people with my name, and I'll see you all soon.